Hello, everyone. In this short clip, I'd like to introduce you to week number 6. We have gone through 5 weeks, and but you can see once again, I bring up the definition of function one more time, and because we have been studying functions and just various aspects of functions and their related concepts. But in week number 6. Quadratic function was studied extensively. And you can see from the homework and the recorded lessons, we study these two functions. But these two examples are basically just two examples about quadratic and to introduce the many important aspects about quadratic and its inequalities, input to output, right? From input to output, and or from output to input. We study these aspects. So first of all, why quadratic functions? Quadratic functions turn out to be one of the most frequently used academic functions, in mathematics. You're going to see a lot of it. And you're also going to see many tweaks of it, okay? So after these quadratic functions, you can see in the homework session, you're going to see solving, equation inequalities, which in these cases, the output are either 0 or, greater than 0, less than 0, and some others, inequalities. And you will also see the tweaks of quadratic functions in these homework questions, okay? You're going to see tweaks. Not all of them, but many of them, okay? So knowing quadratic function well is very helpful for us to study other functions, okay? Study other functions. You see the many tweaks. All right. Secondly, okay, after we study the quadratic functions and its many aspects, including from input to output or from output to input, and we studied inequality. Inequalities is also a very important category of questions, right? In these cases, for example, in this case, x plus 2 times x minus 3 less than 0 is that we know the output is less than 0 and we want to find the input. So that's the perspective. And also inequalities in other forms. And then after studying these quadratics and the rationals, and we go back to see the tweaks of exponential equation. Exponential equation tweaks even more. So these about the tweaks of exponential equations which combined the exponential function and quadratic in some cases. And for logarithm, you get to use logarithm properties. So logarithm functions get to be used, and inequality. So these are all about still the functions we introduced in the first 4 weeks, but they are more complicated forms of these functions. And basically, you can see them as adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, composition of those functions as they show up. And of course, one of the basic skills to factor will also be to factor quadratic will also be addressed. I hope you guys, take your time and really study it. It should benefit you. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Thank you for watching.